Hello and welcome back to Pot Limit Poker. Have a quick session for y'all today. It was about an hour long. We're going to start off on the left hand side of the screen where I called an open raise with King Queen 7-6 single suited. Shouldn't have called this, I don't think, to a raise. And Ostad 39 is going to 3-bet, so I'm going to go ahead and just get out of it this session. I'm going to have a lot of hands against Ostad 39 this session. A big theme is going to be tilt and not controlling my emotions well and letting it get the best of me. So luckily I made the right call here, at least against the 3-bet. Should have just folded to the open. I didn't. It is what it is. Folded to the 3-bet. And we should have a four-way all in here, I think, on the first hand of the session. Just ridiculous. That's ClubWPT Gold for you right there. Over on the right, we're going to open ace, king 7 under the gun, single suited. Going to get 4 callers to the flop here. Not great for aces, but it is nice when you flop a set, which I managed to do. I'm going to go for a 2/3 pot size bet. Unfortunately, I won't get any callers, and I'll have to be content with taking down the pot on the flop, which is just fine with me. On the left, we're going to open aces once again, back to back. This is going to be ace, 8-7, rainbow. Not the prettiest hand, but I am on the button. It's nice to be able to get to close the action with aces. On the flop, and on the turn, and on the river. So I'm going to get one caller, Papa Ace 3. He's a pretty loose player. He's going to call. We're going to go to a paired flop, which I love to see with aces, especially when it's a low card like that. I feel like I'm ahead most of the time. Go for a 1/3 pot. Just about. Maybe closer to half pot. Gonna check the turn. I check the turn a lot with aces because I never really know where I'm at. On the river, when he checks, I'm pretty sure I'm winning, and we are. But you never know. On the paired board with a flush out there, he could be checking a flush on the river. On the left, I'm going to call on the button with Jack 10, 8-7 single suited to a cutoff raise. I think that play is correct. The cutoff, Pimp You All Day 57, is V-pipping like 80% and raising 30-something percent, and he's just absolutely steamrolling the table the whole time I'm there. So he's having a good day. And I flop a flush draw. Not a good flush draw, but a flush draw. I think that hand is probably a fold on the flop 4 ways. Not a lot. I mean, there's some I can hope for, a 6, a 9 to continue, but I'm not going to feel good on a spade. And instead, the turn's an ace, which is just terrible for me, and he's going to bet 10 big blinds. I just have to fold. He could be bluffing, but what am I going to hit on the river that I can improve on? Not much. Over on the left, I'm going to call a middle position raise on the button with Jack 10, 8-7, single suited. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong notes. I raised Queen, Queen, 10, 9, single suited in the cutoff. And my buddy Ostad is going to 3-bet. The big blind cold calls, the cutoff calls, and no, the big blind doesn't cold call. He folds. My notes are wrong. But the cutoff calls, I don't feel good about taking this hand 3 ways. I think that Ostad, from what I've seen, his 3-bets are pretty nutted, and I don't think I'm ever ahead of his 3-betting range. So I folded. I think it's a good fold to a raise pre-flop. Most of these hands are going to be played on the left on the bigger table today. I had a hand at 10 cent, 20 cent, and a table of 10 cent, 20 cent, and a table of 5 cent, 10 cent on the right. This Session started at like 4:30 in the morning, and there weren't many tables going. Couldn't get 2 tables of 10-cent, 20-cent open because I do not like playing the 8-handed games with the straddle. I feel much more comfortable 6-handed and deep stacked, even though I probably shouldn't feel comfortable deep stacked. So over here on the left, in the small blind, queen, queen, jack 10, double suited. I'm going to go ahead and pot it here. From the small blind, I don't want to fold this hand, and I certainly don't want to call and go to a flop 5 ways possibly. It's going to end up, we're going to go to a flop 3 ways anyways. And I'm going to flop the second nut flush draw. With the ace on the board, I got to bet it. Go for 2/3 pot, which I feel like is a good bet size 3 ways. And the nut case shoves. Got a call for 11 big blinds more. I'm behind a 2 pair. What are you going to do? I was behind the whole time to him. I think I played that hand well, though. Next hand is going to be on the left. I believe this is where I start to tilt. Ostad 39 opens from middle position. I'm going to call from the big blind, and we're going to go to a flop 4 ways here. I believe I had ace, king, 10, 9. The ace, king was suited, ace, king, 10, 3. I had ace, king, 10, 3, single suited. Honestly, should probably be folding when you get so many callers, and I'm in the big blind, but I didn't. And when I flop top pair with top kicker, I decide that that's good enough to continue, even against Ostad's full pot bet size. Ostad only has 1 bet size in his arsenal, and it's full pot. So I'm going to call down this hand because not only I feel like I could be ahead if he has any bluffs in his range at all, and especially on the paired board. I feel like my top 2 pair or top pair, top kicker is too good to fold. And I let this pot get out of control. Should have got away from it multiple times. I didn't. Got to call the river and lose to a bigger 2 pair. This is where tilt starts to kick in for me. I was mad at myself for losing that pot. And I'm going to start chasing my losses at this point, especially against Ostad. I'm going to be very loose against Ostad when I should have been tightening up against him. Big mistake. So we go to a flop 3 ways with king, king, 10, 5, single suited. Yeshua's king decides to donk. Yeshua's king is probably a decent donk from the big blind. But what you're going to notice is Yeshua's king donks anytime he gets a piece of the board, no matter the position. So actually a lot of these players are donking in this session. I don't mind it. It makes my job easier because I would have been betting that flop if Yeshua hadn't donked. So I'm glad he did and got me out of there. This next hand, I just checked ace, jack, jack 10, single suited. The reason being, I don't think I'm no suits. I'm sorry. The reason being, I don't think I'm getting any folds if I bet pot on the pre-flop there. And Yeshua's king donks. Must have got a piece of the board. I also have a piece of the board, top pair. Papa ace, 2 bets, and I should have got away from the hand here. There was no reason for me to call this bet. I'm behind anything that's 2 betting here. And I'm still far behind. I have a gut shot now, but really not good enough to do anything with. So I end up getting away when he pots the turn. Could have saved myself 8 big blinds if I had just folded the flop, but I was tilted and just really didn't want to fold this session. So now I'm going to open 8, 7, 5, 4 single suited under the gun. Probably at the bottom of my under the gun opening range here. And when Ostad 39 three bets and everybody calls around, I don't really know what the right move is here. If I have a chance and the pot is huge, so I'm going to call and go to a flop 4 ways here, 5 ways, my bad, with not very good hands. And when the flop comes all high cards and Yeshua donks, I have a very easy decision. Yeshua's got the straight every time here. He's either got 10-9 or ace-10. He's going to bet every time. And probably could have got some value if he had checked. Not from me, but I imagine Ostad 39 could have very easily had a set or two pair on that board. Over on the right, I'm going to open ace, king, king, 4 single suited under the gun, middle position. Cutoff's going to 3-bet. If you're not sitting at a table with at least 2 people who are VPipping 70% on ClubWPT Gold, you're on a bad table. I think that against this particular player's 3-bet range, I'm doing fairly well. The flop comes queen 10-8, and I am thinking he has a pair of queens in his hand, just considering what I have in my hand. And when the turn comes a straight that I block, I'm going to start bluffing at it. And full pot on the river, he ends up calling with a set. I didn't really pay attention to his stack size on that hand. I probably should have, but I thought I could get some folds. If he didn't fold the turn, though, he's not folding the river. So could have saved myself some money on that hand if I had thought about it. Over on the left, I open 10-9, 8-6 single suited, and once again, I get 3-bet. Nope, no I don't, my bad. Do not get 3-bet by Ostad. But Ostad does daunt the flop. And I'm blocking straight draws here, which means he most likely just has like queen deuce once again. And gonna call the flop, but I fold the turn because I've just realized that I'm tilting and I want to get away from it. He actually had queen 8. So I was kind of close to what I thought he had. I paid to see it because I was tilted. Wanted to see what he was doing, playing so aggressive. Next hand, cut off, jack 8, 6, 5, double suited. I open. Ostad just calls from the small blind. Big blind calls, middle position calls, and I flop the 3rd nut flush draw. I said that wrong last time. In my last session, I know I said it wrong. I know what the 3rd and 4th nut flush draw is. I don't know why I said that wrong. Yeshua's king bets. He must have a pair of queens. I've got outs against that. Make my flush. Probably could have bet, considering I'm in position. And when the 4th diamond comes, I feel very good about my hand. So my plan was to bet, but Papa Ace made it easy, and I could just call his bet. And Yeshua had the straight. And Papa Ace had a very small flush. If I was in his position, I probably would have betted as well. These are the last 2 hands of the session. Over on the right, I open ace, 9-5 and flop the nuts. And I'm just going to call here because I want Lil Jeff to stay in the hand. He's a nit. I have a lot of history with him. Unfortunately, he doesn't. And get it all in over there. Over on the left, I flop the straight after opening ace 10, 9, 6 double suited. Very pretty hand. And I'm going to bet half pot here. Ostad is going to 3-bet me, and I have him exactly where I want him. I was ecstatic. I thought he was probably doing this with 2 pair or top set, and was going to play it sneaky. Very safe turn for me, obviously, with the redraw and the nuts. And Ostad pot commits himself, and we're going to head and get it all in. Ostad indeed calls with the nut straight, but no redraw. And we bink it on the river, take down a big pot against Ostad, and that's going to be the end of my session. I made most of my money back. I ended up down $2 on the day. If I had played smarter, not tilted, not called down with a weak holding against Ostad in the first all-in pot, I would have ended up with some hefty profit, which makes me sad. I need to work on my tilt control. I know it. Could have been a small winner this session, but I'm just as happy with being a small loser when I should have been down $60. So we'll call it a win. Thank y'all for watching. Let me know if you enjoy, and we'll see y'all later.